Good morning, my friends. It's another gray May here in Southern California. My name is Lama Jigme Gyatso, and this is Enlightened Fitness, where first we will cunningly use high-intensity bodyweight interval training to cultivate the body of a Tantric Sex God, and then we'll use guided meditation to cultivate the heart and the mind of a Buddha. If this is your first time tuning in, then you'll want to bring your attention to the place about 3 inches below the video. There's a little button that reads Show More. When you click that, it'll reveal a list of links as long as my arm. These links have all the information you require on where to find other Enlightened Fitness videos organized by length of video and by length of meditation. And lots of know-how, how to eat right, to lose weight slowly and gently, or how to eat right, to lose weight rapidly, yet safely, how to warm up, how to exercise with less challenge, how to exercise with greater challenge, also how to sit, how to count your finger creases, and how to meditate. So please make use of these free resources. Now, some of these links will take you to pages on my websites where there's books written by other authors, because quite frankly, I can't give you their books for free. That's called theft. However, I can, take you to their, their Amazon.com pages, which are substantially discounted. Now, yesterday I mentioned some free resources. The third link down will give you free resources for the 80-10-10 diet, which is the safest, quickest way to improve health, improve beauty, and improve athletic performance in the short and long terms. There's a bunch of free information. There's 3 free links and 2 free PDF downloads, all free. Go to the page, scroll down about halfway, you'll find it. Today I'll read to you from one of the first free downloads. For that, I'll need my glasses. So I'll just read to you from the top. The Low-Fat, Raw Vegan Lifestyle. Text by Cecil Lindbergh, Peter Czech, Freely Love, and Brian Carruthers. Compliments of 30bananasaday.com, which is a great free resource. First heading, why fruits and vegetables? It is our, number 1, it is our natural diet that best suits our body. Humans are characterized as frugivores. The bulk of the diet is based on fresh fruits and greens. 2, fresh fruits and vegetables contain thousands of essential nutrients in an intact and balanced form, which is best for optimal human nutrition. 3, fruits contain the perfect amount of fat and protein for human consumption and absorption in their natural and whole state. 4, fruits and greens are naturally low in salt and fat. No preservatives, additives, cholesterol, uric acid, pathogenic bacteria, or adrenaline required. 5, the digestive burden is dramatically minimized and elimination of toxins enhanced. 6, pure nutrient-dense water is found in fruits and vegetables. 7, positive influence on mental health. And 8, it's ethical and an environmentally friendly diet. So here's a sample of the diet. For breakfast, juicy fruits, melons, citrus, and grapes are great for breakfast. For lunch, calorie-dense fruits such as bananas, mangoes, persimmons, figs, or dates. Smoothies made of fruit and water are lunchtime classic. Dinner, eat fruit of your choice until you are satisfied, followed by a big, properly combined salad with baby greens and fruit or vegetable dish. See examples of recipes in the next section. The reason for planning meals like this is for the sake of optimal digestion, absorption, and assimilation. Here's a quick aside from yours truly. I'm kind of a lazy bastard, and I'm disabled, so I can't spend much time puttering around the kitchen. So what I've been doing is just making optimal use of my food processor and bananas. I put some bananas in the food processor, add some water, give it a spin, and bam, I've got a meal I can drink and get back to work. Get back to work, teaching, healing, practicing, and doing some political, and signing and circulating petitions online for ethical causes. So there you go. I'm going to continue with the final portion of the first page of this PDF. Some raw vegan recipes. All meals should reach at least 1,000 calories. Personally, that's great for 99% of the people. Personally, I've got major health problems, and so I have little teeny meals of about 300 calories each, which is about three bananas. And the only reason I mention that is to say that if you can't do it the way most people can do it, you can explore the variables and customize it for your own needs. Some people can thrive on 1 meal a day, some people can thrive on 3 meals a day, some people need to graze through the day. Whatever works best for you. Ultimately, if we should put the results that our body generates ahead, or we should value them more than just some theory. I'll continue. For pasta, or pasta-like dishes, peel several zucchinis and spiralize them, or just peel the zucchini over and over again to make ribbons. Blend mango, celery, a whole bunch of coriander, and a few squeezes of lime, then pour over the pasta. And I gotta tell you, it's messy and delicious and fun to eat. Taco with salsa, or taco-esque with salsa. Fill cabbage leaves, because they're rigid. Fill cabbage leaves with red pepper, cucumber, fresh corn, 1/2 avocado, and a little lime juice. Blend sun-dried tomatoes, red peppers, tomatoes, and a little orange juice, and pour over the filling. Delicious and messy and fun. Coleslaw. Grate cabbage, celery, and red pepper. I like to use a food processor. Blend soaked almonds and fresh strawberries and mix with vegetables. Delicious. And it's impossible to get a calcium deficiency. I gotta tell you, cabbage is calcium rich. It's a power source, powerhouse. Let's see here. Salad dressing. Blend tomatoes, celery, dill, and orange juice. Orange juice blended with young coconut flesh is also nice. I had that last night for my salad. It was fantastic. Banana ice cream. Very ripe, frozen bananas. Leave them out to thaw for an hour or so, then blend in food processor. Personally, I have sensitive teeth, so I like my food room temperature. The low-fat, raw vegan lifestyle is more than just a diet. It's a holistic lifestyle which also incorporates exercise, sunshine, and sleep, among other important aspects of health. Support and advice from others who know the lifestyle can be crucial. For questions, practical advice, recipes, and more info, go to www.30bananasaday.com. I gotta tell you, there's a lot of good-hearted people there who will give you free advice. So that's nice. If you look hard enough, you can always find predators who want to lift your wallet. But it's nice to know there are good people, ethical people who are really idealistic and helpful and loving and ready to give you a hand up. So you can pay it forward to help make the world a better, healthier, happier place. Once again, this PDF is for free download on the website. Okay, let's continue. So, what I recommend is the low-fat, whole-food, plant-based diet. You can do it according to the books by Dr. McDougall or Dr. Barnard, which are wonderful if you're very accustomed to the standard American diet and you want to just take your time. Slow and steady runs the race. That's perfect. If you want to sprint to greater health and beauty and lucidity, then the 80-10 diet could be for you. So personally, as a practitioner of the Tantric arts, I find that my body works much, much better on the 80-10-10 diet. And that's all I can tell you right now without blushing horribly. Now it's time to do the workout. That reminds me of Steel Magnolias. And now it's time for the Easter Bunny. Okay, my friends, let's warm up together by performing 2 sets of Indian-inspired 12-phase sun salutation. Remember, if you do these exercises whilst breathing like Darth Vader with his mouth closed, it can really help you to warm up your muscles and break a sweat. Okay, now it's time for 5 circuits of 5 exercises each for approximately a total time of approximately 12 minutes. A couple of months ago, I was horribly sick, and I had to stop working out for about a month, and then I had to start working out again at about 1 minute a day, and then gradually work up to 12. Quick reminder, the first link below the videos will take you to the page where all the Enlightened videos are organized. First, they're organized by length of workout, so if you only feel you can start off, if you only feel up to a 1 minute workout, start there. If you feel up to a 2 minute workout, start there. Or an 8 minute workout, or a 10 minute workout, or a 12 minute workout. Honor your present moment's limitations. Okay, let's begin. First set of heel squats. Kind of fun, it's like you're on a ride. First set of toe squats. Okay, first set of presses. First set of thrusters, which sound terribly butch, don't they? We're gonna do some thrusters. First set of chins. Welcome to the second circuit, second heel. Second set of thrusters. Second, chins, no brakes. You want to get yourself as winded and as schwitzy and sweaty as possible. Welcome to the third circuit. Not only does this burn calories, but this helps the body to access the hormones required to ignite the fat-burning afterburner effect, which is a lot of fun. Third heel. Third toes. This works all the muscles of your legs, I guarantee it. Okay, let's do the third set of thrusters. Very exciting. Third set of chins. Any of these exercises are a mystery? Find the link that'll take you to the YouTube tutorial for that set of exercises. The links are below the video. Welcome to the fourth circuit. Fourth press. Fourth set of core thrusters. Fourth set of chins. Welcome to the fifth and final circuit. Fifth heels. Fifth toes. Fifth press. Fifth thrust. Fifth and final, make it count. Fifth and final set of chins. Oops, a little confused. head's chopped off. That's good enough for government work. Water, beverage of choice. Okay, the last several guided meditations have been 36 minutes each. This will be closer to 42 minutes. And I think it would be, oopsie, before I get too far ahead of myself. Number one, I want to remind you that the first link below the video will take you to the Enlightened Fitness, to the body weight circuit training page, where all the Enlightened Fitness videos are organized by length of workout. And there's a box full of workouts that are 10 minutes, a box full of workouts that are 2 minutes, a box full of workouts that are 3 minutes. You get the idea. Within each box, the workouts are organized by length of meditation. So do yourself a favor, if this is your first time watching, and start with a 3-minute guided meditation. I don't care how many years you've been meditating, this is a good chance for you to exercise what us big boys call humility. Set yourself up for success. That's what I say. Now what I'm going to do is read to you from an English translation of an ancient, one of the first non-sectarian Rime Manipad texts, are texts that are both non-sectarian and devoted to the Buddha of compassion. Sometimes they manifest as four-armed Chenrezig, the male Buddha, and sometimes he manifests as female, two-armed Green Tade. Now, although this is non-sectarian and oriented towards the Buddha of compassion, it is written from a fundamentalist perspective. So I will occasionally interrupt the text to give you a quick parenthetical commentary. The second chapter is entitled The Song of Taking Advantage of the Human Body, which is difficult to find. Now, as a liberal, I usually teach this in terms of making the most of whatever pleasures or pains befall you, bringing them into the spiritual path, not just trying to ignore them or run away from them. This is a fundamentalist perspective, and they're a bit more fear-oriented and negative. But we're going to go through it anyway to give you a bit of an orientation. Sometimes by indulging the fundamentalist teachings, it helps us to appreciate the liberal teachings. It begins, Kiemaho, listen up, this is marvelous. There are many aeons, but it is rare that the sacred teachings flourish. There are many realms, but it is rare that a Buddha appears. Although a Buddha appears, it is rare that the teaching will remain. Among the 6 kinds of beings, it is rare to obtain a human form. When they say the 6 types of beings from a fundamentalist perspective, they mean the denizens of hell, the 4 bastards in fundamentalist hell, the hungry ghosts, hungry and thirsty ghosts, the animals. They also mean the humans, the jealous demigods, and the self-indulgent four-realm gods. Remember, this is from the fundamentalist point of view. As a liberal, we look at it this way. People who are slaves of rage or live in violent environments, people who are slaves to scarcity and lack, people who are dull and stupid and taken advantage of, people who are subject to fears, as well as the sufferings of birth, illness, old age, and death, people who are slaves to jealousy, people who are slaves to egocentric self-indulgence. And the thing is, from the liberal perspective, we've all been each of those categories of people. We've all slipped into those perspectives and those circumstances and those moods. And so we don't look at it as a liberal, we look at it as the various challenges that living beings are subject to. Let's continue. Among the 4 continents, it is rare to be born in the Jambu continent. Within the Jambu continent, it is rare that the sacred Dharma flourishes. Although one is born here, it is rare to have all one's senses intact. Although one may have all one's senses, it is rare to have any thought of the perfect Dharma. And so this is just basically saying, guys, we're really lucky to be born, currently experience a situation where the thought of practicing the Dharma occurred to us. We are lucky to be born in a quote-unquote in civilization where there's writing and there's teaching and there's self-improvement. Because if we were living hand-to-mouth, it would be tough to make time for that. Let's continue. Although one wishes to practice, it is rare to find a qualified teacher. Even though one might meet a teacher, it is rare to receive instructions on practice. Even though one may receive them, it is rare to be ripened through empowerments. Although these two may come together, it is rare to recognize one's essence. What is one's essence? One's essence is full of interdependence. Therefore, it's empty of anything separate to grasp. One's essence is full of change. Therefore, it's empty of anything permanent to grasp. Kind of cool, huh? Let's continue. All these rarities you have now obtained, this is not an easy thing. It is the result of aspirations from former lives. So now turn your back on samsara. What is samsara? It is the tyranny of suffering. If you are unable to do that, you will certainly be nothing more than someone returning empty-handed from an island of precious jewels. There is only the slightest possibility that such conditions will come together in the future. And there we have it. The first fear, fundamentalist fear. In other words, make use of these opportunities or you won't have these opportunities again. You won't have human rebirth, you won't have a cool place to live, you won't have these teachings. So we're using the fundamentalist ideas to kind of prod someone with the sharp stick of fear. As a liberal, I don't like that. As a liberalist, when I experience that fear is destructive. But many prominent Buddhists think it's a great thing. Even the Dalai Lama, bless his heart, is a good scholar, a good linguist, but he was raised to be a fundamentalist, and he has even written and taught publicly that fear can be a good thing. I don't agree with His Holiness, but I give him kudos and a high five for putting it out there, putting the teachings out there. This is a good time to quickly remind you how to pronounce the 6-syllable mantra of the Buddha of compassion, because we will be using that in a few minutes. So, we're going to use 2 pronunciation drills. I'm going to say a syllable. I'm not going to chant it. I'm just going to recite it conversationally, and then you repeat it right after me conversationally. That makes it easier for you to adjust your pronunciation, because this is all about learning, isn't it? Okay. Om, Om, Om. Second syllable. Ma, Ma, Ma. You may want to write this down. Third syllable. Ni, Ni, Ni. Fourth syllable. Pod, P-A-D. Pod, Pod. Fifth syllable. may, may, may. Sixth syllable, whom, whom, whom. So you basically have four words, Om, Mani, Padme, whom. Om is invocation, Mani is the wish-fulfilling jewel. It's like Aladdin's lamp, but Indian instead. Padme refers to the lotus. Whom is supplication. Mani, when it speaks of the wish-fulfilling jewel, that's a metaphor for compassion and love. For karmically, nothing will purify bad karma or multiply good karma as effectively as compassion and love. A lotus of purity is a metaphor for the wisdom of letting go. It shouldn't be confused with shoving away or aloofness. You put it together, you get the union of love and letting go. So the four words of the six-syllable mantra could be translated as, hey, oh you who have accomplished the perfection of love and letting go, could you help a brother out? Now let's do the second pronunciation drill. I call this one syllable stacking. The first one was Slavic ping pong. Now we're syllable stacking. Repeat after me. Om, Om, Om. Now two syllables. Om, Ma. Om, Ma. Aren't you glad you wrote these down? Om, Ma. Now three. Om, Mani. Om Mani. Om Mani. Now four syllables. Om Mani Pod. Om Mani Pod. Om Mani Pod. Now five syllables. Om Mani Padme. Om Mani Padme. Om Mani Padme. And now, six syllables. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Now, if this is your first time, I invite you not to be perfectionistic. One very popular perfectionistic myth is if I can't do it perfectly the first time I try it, then it's not for me. And the answer to that is bullshit. Folks, repetition is the mother of skill. Anything worth doing, we begin by doing it incompetently and spazzy. That's how I did it. But if you work with it twice a day, every day, within a week, no less a month, it'll become second nature. Let's continue. In particular, the secret mantra, the unexcelled Vajrayana, will not be taught, or Tantrayana, will not be taught by the 1,000 Buddhas beginning with Maitreya, so there is no other hope of receiving it. Again, fundamentalist-oriented fear tactics. Guys, the only reason to practice Dharma is not out of fear. It's because you want to be a happier camper and you want to help other people be happier campers. That's why you practice Dharma. Let's continue. You have now obtained this precious human form, which is difficult to find, but if you don't make use of this, it will be abandoned and discarded in no time, only to be eaten by birds and dogs or cremated by fire. So take advantage of this now, otherwise it is pointless. Once again, that's the fearful fundamentalist view. You know, basically, let's think of it this way. You have aversion and avarice, hate and greed. If you act out of hatred for suffering, that's basically fear. If you act out of desire for happiness, for your own happiness and for others' happiness, that's much more useful. That's been my experience, at least. Keep purely the vows and samayas you have taken. Keep the one-day precepts on the new moon, full moon, and on the 8th day. To make use of your hands, make 100 prostrations every day. To make use of your feet, circumambulate holy objects. To make use of your tongue, exert yourself in chanting and in recitation of the 6 syllables. To make use of your possessions, be diligent in gathering the accumulations. To make use of your mind, train in emptiness and compassion. Emptiness is just a fancy way of saying, let go, because there's really nothing permanent to grasp. Let go, because there's nothing separate to grasp. Everything affects everything else. Everything's affected by everything else. Everything is in a constant state of flux, rendering grasping an impossibility. So basically, more morally speaking, don't be a bastard, be a nice guy. And it's very simple to be a nice guy. Resolve to do no harm. Resolve to do whatever good you are capable of doing. That's a good place to begin. Resolve to treat representations of the teachings and the Buddha and the Buddha's disciples with a modicum of respect. When you earn good karma, share that good karma with others. That's why we use those 3 recitations at the end of the practice. And choose to give others the benefit of the doubt, especially your teacher. That doesn't mean close your eyes, put your hand over your ears and go la 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 if your teacher's going around shooting people, with a gun. That's obviously bad. But how do you give your teacher the benefit of the doubt sanely? Simple. Pick a teacher, suspend your judgment, receive the teachings, apply the instructions twice a day for 6 days, engage your judgment, notice the results. You got bad results, go find another teacher. You get good results, come back, get more teachings. That's the most effective way to give someone the benefit of the doubt. Not judging them by your intuition or by your logic, but by the results you get when you enthusiastically apply their instructions. Here's what I found. I found that if you take giving the benefit of the doubt to its ridiculous extreme, if you trust someone, if you give someone the benefit of the doubt that they're smart and they're really stupid, they'll prove it to you. You don't have to worry about it. If they're an idiot, they'll prove it to you. If you choose to give someone the benefit of the doubt and assume they're a good person and they're really an evil bastard, don't worry. They'll prove it to you in a very short time. I'm a sci-fi geek, I got to talk about Star Trek, the original series. There was an episode where there was, again, another transporter error. My goodness. Anyway, a few members of the Star Trek crew wound up going to an alternate, an evil Enterprise and an evil universe, and everyone was evil. And so they had to pretend they were evil to fit in. At the end of the episode, obviously they beamed back into the good Starship Enterprise and the good universe. And of course I'm simplifying it down. I hope you all forgive me. But there was a wonderful thing. Kirk asked Spock, how did you spot, my evil counterpart? And Spock explained, it is much easier for a civilized man to pretend he is a barbarian than for a barbarian to pretend he is a civilized man. Likewise, my friends, it is safe to give people the benefit of the doubt. For if they're idiots, they can't help but show you. And if they are bastards and they're cruel, they will prove it to you rapidly. It's safe to give the benefit of the doubt. And even if it wasn't, I can tell you from first-hand experience that it's the key to having a loving, happy, peaceful life. And that's the biggest, the greatest prize of all. Come, let us continue. You should make use of this illusory body, which you have temporarily borrowed from the 4 elements, and if necessary, be able to sacrifice it. Like a traveler who's well equipped with pack animals and possessions, and traveling on, you will have no misery. So obviously, this was written at a time in Bronze Age, in a civilization that was primarily ruled by Bronze Age technologies. No Model Ts when this was written. Even though this is translated from a fundamentalist text, I think it's really fun, and it's really refreshing, and it's really beautiful. Now, we're going to play with the mala. If you don't have a mala, don't worry about it. If you want to order one, you can order one from the link. One of the links below the video will take you to the class materials page. Now, if you can order a mala. I don't sell malas, but on the class material page is a link from the people that I recommend you buy malas from. They're very nice people, their malas are very good quality, and they're the most reasonable prices on the internet. This mala costs less than $50 as opposed to more than $100 at other places. A lot of people try to fleece the flock. I make no commission off these sales. I am not an affiliate. I'm just hooking you up with good product at reasonable prices. I've had students who are feminists, and they chafed when I said typically men use bigger malas than women do because typically men's fingers are bigger and meatier than women's are. And so I once had a feminist student, and she really chafed at that. And so I had her count count mantras on my mala, and she said sheepishly she'd feel more comfortable using smaller beads. So there's man-sized mala, and there's woman-sized mala, and 9 times out of 10 people with smaller fingers like smaller beads. That's just ergonomics. But it's all there, and it's very nice, but you don't need it because I'm basically doing the counting for you. So what I'm going to do, you don't have to do this, but what I'm going to do is count on my ring finger. And what we're going to do is very liberal, very controversial. Fundamentalists, bless their heart, are notorious for confusing literal statements and metaphoric statements. Consequently, there's been a lot of confusion over the millennia about the practice of Tantra. And this is where I get very controversial. Many fundamentalists insist that you must visualize yourself as a Buddha. You must visualize your environment as a Buddha's paradise. You must pretend that all sound is nothing more than the mantra. Even, hey, stop, the truck's going to hear you. No, you have to hear it as Om Mani Padme Hum. That's what the fundamentalists teach, bless their hearts. Radical boy over here says no. These are similes. So let's explore this as similes that will be empowered by our gentle recitation of the 6-syllable mantra. I'm going to give you a phrase to mentally recite during your in-breath. During the out-breath, as you relax, whisper as many mantras as you comfortably can. So it goes like this. Mentally repeat after me. How could these sights be as non-graspable as the Buddha of Compassion's paradise of light? How could these sights be as non-graspable as the Buddha of Compassion's paradise of light? Now, if you've already been to my class materials page, you could have downloaded an image of the Buddha of Compassion and put it in a little inexpensive lucite frame, which I recommend. And if you have already done that, then if you wanted to, you could actually gaze upon the Buddha of Compassion's face as you do this, but you don't have to. Let's continue. How could these sights be as non-graspable as the Buddha of Compassion's paradise of light? Really want to relax while reciting the mantra. That's where the magic takes place. Again, how could these sights be as non-graspable as the Buddha of Compassion's paradise of light? We're not saying there's a Buddha of compassion. We're not, as a liberal, we're not saying he has a paradise comprised of light. But we're capable of imagining such a thing, and we're capable of desiring such a thing. Every culture has dreams of heaven or a heaven-like place. If you're not sure what that's like, look up Maxfield Parrish. He's a painter from the 30s, and you'll see lots of beautiful Greek goddesses languishing near fountains at sunset, which is a wonderful visual depiction of the universal archetype of paradise. The goal here is not to visualize paradise perfectly. The goal here is to say, hey, the things I see, the mountains, the cars, the streets, the dogs, the cats, my friends, my coworkers, my family members, everything I can see with my eyes, what if that was as non-graspable as something comprised of light, like a rainbow or a hologram? So let's play with that right now. How could these sights be as non-graspable as the Buddha of Compassion's paradise of light? And that is exactly what the author meant when he said, perform the development stage, the creation stage, by mere recollection. He wasn't saying, hey man, run around trying to superimpose your visualizations upon all things. Hey man, try to give yourself some sort of a benign psychosis. No. He was saying, hey, use similes to liberate yourself from your habitual grasping, you big old boneheads. Shinra, Karma, Chagme, how could you call us boneheads? Because we are. Okay, we've completed our first quarter mala. Now we're going to shift gears and turn away from our eyes to our ears. So, we're going to play with the rhetorical, assumptive, mantra-empowered question. How could these sounds be as non-graspable as the Buddha of Compassion's 6-syllable mantra? I like to do this with my eyes closed. I used to live in an apartment complex where virtually every week there'd be a knockdown, throwdown fight, and I'd have to call the cops before my neighbors killed each other. Not a warm, cuddly place to live. I can't tell you how nice it was after I called the cops to listen to the ugliness of their arguments and screaming and crashing and explore its non-graspable nature. Notice it wasn't aloof. I did what I could to make sure no one was going to get permanently injured or hospitalized or killed. But then I brought it into the spiritual path, which is what we all want to do. If you have a neighbor who has an infant, or if you have an infant and it spends many hours exercising its lungs and your patience by crying endlessly, you can bring that into the path as well. All sounds, pleasurable or painful, glorious or grotesque, can be brought into the path, and all points in between, of course. How could these sounds be as non-graspable as the Buddha of Compassion's, as the resonance of the Buddha of Compassion's 6-syllable mantra? How could all sounds be as non-graspable as the resonance of the Buddha of Compassion's 6-syllable mantra? Of course, if you're wondering, 28 divided by 4 is 7. 28 is, of course, a quarter mala. At least a quarter Tibetan mala. How could these sounds be as non-graspable as the resonance of the Buddha of Compassion's 6-syllable mantra? Relax into the recitation of the mantra. Now let's play with the idea of letting go of our physical sensations, and whether you're considering the green body of light of the Buddha, the female Buddha of infinite action, or the white body of light, the male Buddha of infinite compassion. It's fun to consider their bodies as being comprised of bliss-inducing light. It's fun to think or imagine that a Buddha would experience more bliss than you or I. And the answer is, they do. So that's what we're going to do right now. How could all sensations, the pleasurable ones and the painful ones, the glorious ones and the grotesque ones, how could all sensations be as non-graspable as the bliss-inducing body of the Buddha of Compassion? Because remember, it's a bliss-inducing body comprised of light. How are all sensations non-graspable? Because they're empty of anything separate to grasp, and they're empty of anything permanent to grasp. Why is that? Because everything affects everything, everything is affected by everything, therefore everything changes all the time, regardless of our ability or willingness to perceive it. This is not dogma, this is clearly observed phenomena. How could these sensations be as non-graspable as the body as the blissful body of the Buddha of Compassion? How could these sensations be as non-graspable as the blissful body of the Buddha of Compassion? Some people say some women feel more comfortable working with a female Buddha than a male Buddha. My answer is always the same. When you participate in the next weekly series of live weekly webinars, the first quarter deals with the male Buddha, the remaining 3 quarters deals with the female Buddha. So don't worry, everyone's needs are going to be met. How could these sensations be as non-graspable as the Buddha of compassion's body of bliss? Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Now that we've dealt with physical sensations, let's deal with emotions. All of us, enlightened or unenlightened, boobs and bodhisattvas, all of us share the same palette of human emotions that range from the glorious to the grotesque, and all points in between. The Buddha of compassion is typified by his perfection of love and letting go. But love and letting go, as you know, are ever so intangible. So we now play with the simile, inspiring, rhetorical, assumptive, mantra-empowered question. How could these emotions be as non-graspable as the Buddha of compassion's love and letting go? Let's play with that right now. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. How could these emotions be as non-graspable as the Buddha of compassion's love and letting go? How can an emotion be non-graspable? Because the emotion is empty of anything permanent to grasp, and the emotion is empty of anything separate to grasp. Together, how could these emotions be as non-graspable as the Buddha of compassion's love and letting go? Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. So we just did our first mala. We're going to call that our wisdom mala. Now we're going to do our love mala. And love is just about giving. Why could I long to be lavished with great wisdom and its causes? Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Relax during the mantra. May I be blessed with great wisdom and its causes right now. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Why can I long to lavish everyone with great wisdom and its causes? Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. And if you're playing with a mala, you could use your middle finger right now. May everyone be lavished with great wisdom and its causes right now. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. How's about peace? Why can I long to be lavished with great peace and its causes? Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. May I be lavished with great peace and its causes right now. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Our selfish greed gives birth to our universal love. Why could I long to lavish everyone with great peace and its causes? May everyone be lavish with great peace and its causes right now. Now let's change channels to love. Let's give everyone else love for everyone else. How's that sound? We'll begin with ourselves. We're going to exploit our natural self-centeredness in the most spiritual way possible. Why could I long to be lavished with great love for all others? It's key to relax into the recitation of the mantra. May I be lavish with greater love for all right now. Why could I long to lavish everyone with greater love for all and its causes May everyone be lavish with greater love for all and its causes right now. Let's conclude with joy, because everyone loves joy. Why could I long to be lavish with greater joy and its causes? May I be lavished with greater joy and its causes right now. Why could I long to lavish all others with great love for all and its causes? May everyone be lavished with great. May everyone be lavished with great joy in its causes right now. That's pretty cool. That's about 200 plus mantra. Exercising our love and our wisdom of letting go. Now that we have performed the development or the generation stage, the creation stage by mere recollection, we can do the silent meditations of both Sutra and Tantra. Water, beverage of choice. I'm going to take a moment to jot down the starting time. 8:28. Now at this point you should feel very centered and very mellow and very resilient, and that's awesome. I remember when I first began my journey into Buddhist Tantra in this lifetime, I was working with a fundamentalist group, and the more I performed their practices, the more nervous and cranky and anxious I became. And I noticed that they were equally emoting anxiety and aggression, and it became very, very clear that I wasn't generating the results that I wanted. And I was faced with a very frightening prospect of seeking other teachers. I was a lazy fellow who wanted to walk the fundamentalist path and take all the way to the 10th Bhumi, and it became very obvious that the fundamentalist path could not take me all the way there. And I had to look for additional teachers and begin my journey from the fundamentalist realm to the liberal realm. And I got to tell you, that was a scary, scary, uncomfortable journey. It's my desire to make that journey as comfortable and as easy and as blissful for you as I can. Let's practice the long rim of the galugs. Hands, left hand in lap, right hand in left, thumbs do not touch. Out, let's see. How this not satisfied. You can say, but I'm feeling happy and groovy. Yes. But happy and groovy doesn't satisfy. We always want more happy and groovy. We never say, that's all the happiness and grooviness I require. How's about some misery? No. So, we always want more. That's neither good nor bad, it simply is. So, how this not satisfy?
Why turn from suffering's cause?
How this chance, oopsie, meant wrong one. How karma be quite just. How this chance be precious. Noticing, relaxing. This ease. Let's turn to tone lens union of the compassion that takes and the love that gives. How could each be kind mom? Why take rage as black smoke? How are all more than me? Why give love as white light? In through nose, out through pores. Take rage smoke, give love light. Rage, love. Now let's play with the wisdom of letting go. What feeling? Releasing. How is this dependent? How could this never last? How could this not be me? How could this not be mine? How could this not be grasped? Why could I let this go? Why would I let this go? When will I let this go? loving kindness that gives wisdom. How wise good really sing. How wise feel really sing. Pardon. Now to me give wisdom. Now to some give wisdom. Now to all give wisdom. Now to each give wisdom. Now let's practice the union of Mahamudra and Dzogchen. We'll begin with the Mahamudra of bliss and letting go. By way of review, we will begin with the secret tumo. We use now reverse breathing, where we tighten our anus, our urethra, our vaginal orifice, or our perineum, depending upon our gender. We gently pull in our lower abdomen with each in-breath, and then we relax our anus, urethra, perineum, or vaginal orifice, as well as our lower abdomen with each out-breath. You could consider this to be Tantric Kegels. Where seek wheel, releasing. Where seek ha, releasing. Where ha flame, releasing. Ha free. And then we do the transition meditations. All flame stretch, out left soul. All flame stretch, out right soul. All flame stretch, up to name. All flame stretch, up to heart. All flame stretch, out left palm. All flame stretch, out right palm. All flame stretch, up to throat. All flame stretch, up to crown. All flame stretch, out through brow. Now we return to standard, spontaneous, natural breathing. Brow drop climb up to crown. Where crown wheel releasing. Where crown Om releasing. Now going to do the Tantric version of love and letting go. Om free. Crown's peace light from white Om. Crown's peace light bless body. Crown's peace light, bless Bod's beings. Crown's peace light, now bless here. Crown's peace light, bless here's beings. Crown's peace light, Now bless Earth. Crown's peace light, bless Earth's beings. Crown's peace light, bless all worlds. Crown's peace light, bless all beings. All beings melt into worlds. All worlds melt into Earth. Earth beings melt into Earth. Earth now melts into here. Here's beings melt into here. Here now melts into Bod. Bod's beings melt into Bod. Body melts into Om. Crown's Om melts into space. Vast expanse, empty void. Vast void. We're now going to let's perform a practice inspired by the Dzogchen leap over technique. What's seeing, releasing? See free. How could this be funny? Grin with lips, releasing. Noticing, relaxing. This ease. As we approach the final 12 minutes of our guided meditation, we will explore the first two sexual meditations, which in time could help one master one's own channels, winds, and drops to the point where one could experience greater control while making love, and greater pleasure while making love, being able to then sustain and intensify pleasure for oneself and one partner. The spiritual application is one can bring the bliss, the pleasure, into the path of awareness and letting go, and into the path of love and letting go, which can transform common lovemaking into supramundane lovemaking. Lovemaking that improves our karma, our love, and our wisdom. Let's begin. Crown drop sink down to throat. Throat drop sink down to heart. Heart drop sink down to nave. Nave drop sink down to seek. Seek drop sink down to tip. On a woman, the tip is the most sensitive portion of the clitoris at that moment. As any woman can tell you, the most sensitive part of the clitoris can shift. For a man, the sex tip is the most sensitive portion of the penis. Be it clitoris or penis, imagine that the central channel runs through that most sensitive part, and at a 90-degree angle to the central channel is a little tiny chakra or wheel. It's black and the size of your thumbnail. In the center is a little hub, and in that hub is a little syllable the size of a mustard seed, the syllable bay, or the letter B, whichever you prefer. Remember, all fetuses begin as females. Those who would become men 9 times out of 10 go and undergo a metamorphosis, where the clitoris enlarges and becomes a penis, where the labia majora seal and become a scrotal sac, where the ovaries descend and become testes, where the G-spot slides over and becomes a prostate. All homophobia aside, all sexism aside, we're more similar than not, the genders that is. There are men who hate and fear women, and we call them misogynists. There are women who hate and fear men. They're sexist, no different than a misogynist. Fear and hate are never empowering. There are men, there might have been women who've done you wrong. Women, there might have been men who've done you wrong. In college, in logic, they teach, although a black dog might bite once, that does not mean all dogs bite all the time. Although there may be malicious men or women, that does not mean all men or women are malicious. To love with vulnerability and abandon requires the utmost of courage. There is no way not to get hurt. Hurt might not be constant, but it is always a factor in the equation. Earth has a 100% mortality rate, no less injury rate. So it's time to put our big boy and big girl shoes on and love with courage and vulnerability. Where sex wheel, let's try that again. Where tip wheel, releasing. Meditating on the tip wheel before bed can add to your drowsiness, which is very useful if you're prone to insomnia. Where tip bay, releasing. So there are sensations at our bay tip. From women can get these sensations when they receive cunnilingus. Men can get these sensations, or diddling. Men can get these sensations when they're given manual favors, oral favors, or copulation. This is generally considered a pleasurable sensation. And if it's good, why not share it with the rest of the world? Psychically, of course. Physically would be exhausting. So, where bay bliss, share with all. And now simply, bay share. try that meditation the next time you receive a sexual favor from your sweetheart or from yourself. Now to increase our wisdom, bay free. Savor it on the in-breath, let go on the out-breath. Let's do some transitory contemplations. Tip, drop, climb up to seek. Seek, drop, climb up to nave. Nave, drop, climb up to heart. That's much better. Let's perform the Tantra of love and letting go. Heart's blue whom. Let's try this again. Heart's joy light from blue whom. Heart's joy light, bless body. Heart's joy light, bless Bod's beings. Heart's joy light, now bless here. Heart's joy light, bless here's beings. Heart's joy lights, now bless earth. Heart's joy lights, bless earth's beings. Heart's joy light, bless all worlds. Heart's joy light, bless all beings. All beings melt into worlds. All worlds melt into earth. Earth beings melt into here. I'm sorry, Earth beings melt into earth. Earth now melts into here. Here's beings melt into here. Here now melts into bod. Bod beings melt into bod. Body melts into whom. Heart's whom melts into space. Vast expanse, empty void. Vast void. Let's practice a method inspired by Dzogchen's burst through or break through technique. What feeling releasing? hearing really sing? What feeling really... Oopsie, let's hear that again. Let's continue. What feeling really sing? How could this be funny? Grin with cheeks, really sing. Noticing, relaxing. This ease. There are many who would use the terminology of the present moment as a new age end run around ugly emotions, painful emotions, grotesque emotions. But if you feel something right now, then that is a part of your present moment experience, and we ignore it at our peril. Better an ugly, ugly truth than a pretty, pretty lie. This free, this ease. Let's perform the pause rehearsal of transference of consciousness at the moment of death. We begin with love. Give to each great rebirth. Now we turn our attention to our own transference of consciousness at the moment of death. Great rebirth, out through crown. Where crown wheel, releasing. My mistake, where crown Om, releasing. Om free. This ease. you'll remember that we went from the sex tip meditation to the heart-centered tantra of love meditation. When this becomes familiar, when this becomes a habit, you'll perform this spontaneously and even automatically while making love. Then you'll learn how to have non-ejaculatory orgasms, some from the heart, that some even call heartgasms. And you'll be transforming physical pleasure into loving well-wishers for all living beings, which is very auspicious. Let's continue now with the final set of contemplations that are again inspired by Dzogchen's leap over practices. Eyes open, gazing out the window or at a wall. Gently gaze. If your eyes roll up spontaneously, that's great. If not, don't worry, they will in time. What's seeing, really seeing. See free. Remember, the object isn't what you're noticing, but remembering to let go of what you notice. How could this be funny? Grin with eyes, releasing. Noticing, relaxing. This ease. That concludes this morning's 39 minutes silent guided meditation. You know, silent except for my algebra drawing. I now invite you to join me for a gentle set of geriatric yoga that comes from the gullets and that it's called Untying the Heart's Knot. So I was just thinking that the long room practice and the yoga practice come from the gullets, the kagyus and the enigmas have given us the Mahamudra and the Dzogchen. The sexual chakra work was preserved for us by the Sakyas, and they're also the ones who gave us the greater commentary on the benefits of Tibetan-style bowing which is inferred in one of my in the videos from lesson 4. So altogether, this has been a Rime experience of non-sectarian Tantra, which is quite lovely. Let's sit erect. Let's place our hands behind our tush. Let's open our chest and twist to the left. Why get wise? Releasing. Please reverse. Now to each give wisdom. Back to center. Please release your hands, lace them in the lap, swing the mountain overhead, please bend to the left. While I give peace, releasing. Please reverse. Now to each give great peace. Back to center. Let's make our way into the downward facing fetal position. Also known as child's pose.
Give to each love for all. Please curl your hands into fists, place your knuckles upon your yoga blanket, just above your knees. Stridently,
Straighten your arms, ride the momentum into the seated samurai pose, which is also known as lion's pose, or posture. Please lace your hands behind your tush. Please open your chest, drop your head, roll your gaze up. What seeing, really seeing. What hearing, really seeing. What feeling, really seeing. Release your hands. Please cup your palms. Press your hands together. Suspend the center of your palm before the upper third of your chest. Relax your shoulders down. Please press into a left twist. While I give joy, releasing. Back to center. Please twist to the right. Now to each give great joy. Back to center. Let's make our way into the Cat-Cow Asana. Open mouth, slack jaw. Now to each, give comfort. Please stand up. Please place the majority of your weight upon the major and minor ball of your foot, right behind the big and little toes. Please lift your heels off the carpet. Please place a subtle bend in your knees. Please thrust your hips forward. Please lace your hands behind your thighs. Please open your chest, drop your head, roll your gaze up. How could this be funny? Grin with lips, releasing. Noticing, relaxing. Okay, let's conclude. Let's conclude with the 3 recitations while forming 4 sets of bows. We'll begin with 2 repetitions of Indian Inspire, 12 Face, and Salutation. Of course, the 3 recitations are found in a free PDF entitled First Set of Lesson Texts. These 3 recitations are found at the end of every lesson. And the PDF, which you can download for free, is found on the class materials page. Use the appropriate link at the appropriate time. By this virtue may I now accomplish the spontaneous, habitual, easy and effective mastery of Buddha's mental yogas. Devotion, awareness, love, and letting go. And now lead every living being, without exception, to this ground. May everyone be healthy, wealthy, and happy. Everyone practice skillfully and joyfully. Everyone accomplished and resilient. And then help many others do likewise. For truly that is the meaning of life. Om Mani Padme Hum. perform 2 repetitions of Vietnamese-inspired bows. May I always be cared for throughout all my lives by the Buddha of compassion, emanating as my kind teacher. And as such may I always enthusiastically and joyfully tread this excellent path praised by the conquerors. Pardon. Well, my friends, I thank you for your time and your kind attention. I thank you for your support and your enthusiasm to practice meditation twice a day. And don't worry, you don't have to practice for an hour twice a day. 3 minutes, 6 minutes, 9 minutes, those are good places to start. May you and yours be healthy and happy. Om Mani Padme Hum. Before you go, I wish to invite you to click the subscribe button if you have not yet, as well as the like button and the share button. When I'm finished talking, I invite you to go to the upper left-hand corner of your screen, find the big old YouTube icon, give that a click. It'll take you to your home page. On the left hand, towards the bottom, you'll find a tab that reads Manage Subscriptions. Click that. Look up either Lama Jigme or Tantric Sex God 1. To the right, there'll be a little box. Give that a click. Check that box. And you'll receive an email notification the next time I upload a video. Now remember those links I told you about below the video? You could use one of them to help keep this monk fed, which would be lovely, but by no means mandatory. And there's another link you could use to register for the next series of weekly webinars. I should say live weekly webinars. That's the best forum to get all your questions answered. However, if you do have questions before then, you can leave them in the comment section below the video. And if you send me a hug, I'll send you a hug back, at least etherically. Now, when does the next series of weekly webinars begin? Tuesday, the 2nd of July. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.